I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request from Dan. Thank you so much, Dan. If anyone's ever interested in requesting any other type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, news, something random, whatever, feel free to send requests either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. This is for a film called Magellan, which I had never heard of, and that's because it's a very low budget 2017 science fiction film about a astronaut sent by NASA because they picked up this trio of mysterious signals, one by Neptune, one by Saturn, and one by Eris, which, for those who don't even know what Eris is, Eris at one point might have been called a planet, but then it did not meet all the requirements, so at times it's considered a dwarf planet. That's their term. Anyway, he's supposed to go to each one of these threes, follow these signals, and he does. He finds these little balls. At one point he touches one because he's an idiot. He gets these signals, visions, what do you want to call it. And then it's scenes of him either talking to the AI computer, getting this video feed, sometimes with cryptic messages or stuff that it seems like they're going to lead to somewhere, but they really don't. He finds each one of the three, and it's a very low budget, almost non-existent plot, subpar characters, and a very anticlimactic ending. And most of all, it was very boring. And it looks cheap, but I almost want to say that's the least of this movie's problems. It's the most obvious because the production value of inside the ship is very bare, minimum. There's a point where, a lot of points, the character looks like he's wearing hospital like scrubs. He's getting ready for ER, getting ready for surgery. He's in his blues. But if you had an interesting story, if you had intriguing ideas, if you had characters worth merit, you could overlook the effects. You could overlook the low production quality. But it doesn't have that either. The main character, I did not like him. I thought at times, I get what they're trying to do, where he's so concerned, he's so much a guy who does what he's told, and hey, this could be the discovery of the lifetime, any lifetime. I gotta do this because the journey's going to take about 10 years, 5 years up, 5 years back. And of course his wife is a bit pissed about that, but he's like, hey, I can't say no to these guys, and this is opportunity of a lifetime. But then at the very end of the film, he does send an apology video. And it's trying to do, I guess, a little bit of that Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where you have a character that gets drawn as if they're calling me, this almost like an obsession. And it's a movie that's supposed to be about our desire, our way of thinking of wanting to go on that adventure to seek out new life, new civilizations. I mean, cue the Star Trek music. And I'm just hearing like Captain Kirk, William Shatner's voice. Da 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 da. Which I would rather watch than this. And Star Trek is a perfect example of how, yeah, those effects and sets are not looking, especially in today's standards, but you can enjoy it because you enjoy the characters, or you enjoy the ideas, and you enjoy the stories. So that's a perfect example of, yeah, they didn't have the budget, but it works because of the other things. This lead, I did not care for him. And you know what? I thought a film like Ad Astra did it better. Not just because it has a gargantuan budget, but the way that story was told and the way Brad Pitt's character, the way they dealt with him, I just thought that was much more successful in his venture. I thought it was better written in this. Because already going back to the beginning of this, he immediately agrees to this 10-year journey, even though he has a wife. And he doesn't even give it a thought. He doesn't give it any type of pontification. Even Ad Astra, you could at least say, well, it does deal with his own father, so at least there's some jumping off point. But here it's just, hey, it's going to be a 10-year journey. We know you have a wife. You want to do it? Okay. And there's a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense. You don't know, on this 10-year journey, the most important part of history, that's the potential this has. 3 signals in space that could be extraterrestrial in origin for all we know. Why you send in one lone guy on an entire spaceship? One lone guy? One. Not 2, not 3. I mean, just on a psychological note, wouldn't you want other people so you could talk to and deal with psychologically? What if something happens to that person? They get sick or they get hurt. You have other people. There's no other people, like maybe a scientist, as well as an astronaut, as well as someone who's much more maintenance heavy. Not like a 4, 5, 6 person crew. You're sending one fucking person? That didn't make sense to me. And this giant ship. I mean, I could go into how the fuck are you gonna... Anyway. That just confused me. Like, why are you sending one lone guy? But whatever. And I keep talking about this lead character being a dick. He gets going. I'm trying to think, what was the timeline? 18 months? He gets out of stasis, hypersleep, however the fuck you want to call it. Gets messages. And one of them, oh yeah, your wife is saying this and that. Oh, don't worry about Abigail, she'll manage. Wow, what a dickhead. You woke him up. You wake up 18... I'm just dumbfounded. Like, they write this character. He wakes up 18 months. It's going to be a 10-year journey. His wife is not going to see him for 10 years. She didn't want this. And you're saying, oh, she'll manage. Very nonchalant. And I get that the movie's trying to be this build-up, this journey of him maybe having regret, but I don't think it was that successful. And I didn't feel... Aside from a little alright apology video at the end, it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't care. Plus the actor wasn't all that, so I don't care about this lead guy. I took more notice that every time we saw him, his hair was slicked back. Was that part of the fucking important stuff to have on your trip? The slicked back hair? Every hair is like slicked back. Like he took a bunch of fucking grease and just combed it. Who are you looking pretty for? For the AI? Think the AI is gonna grow a mouth and suck your dick? Like, it just, I'm gonna look pretty. You don't put makeup on too? You're by yourself for 10 years. You would think you'd let yourself, grow a beard. No, apparently in 5 years he doesn't grow a fucking beard. He doesn't grow a fucking piece of hair in 5 years. I guess he's gotta keep himself looking studly for who, what, I don't know. Whatever. And it's just boring. You want to see a film do stuff like this? You can watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Contact, yes, Ad Astra. Because let's face it, this type of movie is on VOD, and those type of movies are also on VOD. I just don't see why you would go to this instead of all those options, and more so. And like I said, sometimes his outfit in blues looks like he's ready for fucking surgery. I talked about these messages. He gets his video feed. He gets a friend who he keeps telling this cryptid shit about, I don't want to distract you. You just said the guy's wife was having a bit of a breakdown. And then 30 seconds later it goes, well, I don't want to do anything to distract you on your journey. I'm like, how stupid is this guy then? I'm going to tell this guy who's by himself in space, going on this 10-year journey, oh, by the way, your wife was having a bit of a breakdown, but I'm not going to give any more details. I'm not really going to give you a whole lot right now. I'm going to let you worry about it, but don't let anything distract you. Just fucking stupid. And yet the low production values do hurt it. And like I said, really, he lands on one spot. He gets out. You tell the fakery with the backgrounds because they didn't have the budget for it. Wanders on what looks like ice. This one little ball. This little alien ball. And then stupidly, he touches it with his bare finger, even though the AI is warning him not to. He's like, this is alien ball. I don't know what it is. Duh. With his bare hands. I'm like, this guy's a fucking moron and he's a fucking dick. I don't give a shit what happens to this guy. Of course, as he touches it, and then throughout the film, he gets little images. And they're pretty much the same. A shot of the ocean, shots of trees, he sees his wife. That's pretty much it. Or a chess piece moving. What does that all mean? Be fucked if I know. They analyze the ball. People at home are pissed that he touched it. He gets more info from the guy or finally his wife. And something about, oh, hackers. Maybe it's the Chinese. They even hacked into my webcam. Where this is leading up to, nothing. Because you just get little snippets. Oh, there's an accident with a Chinese mission that we're going to go to space. Then at one point trying to get back in, the door is still closed, and he hears the AI computer, and for a split second hears him talking Chinese. Speaking Chinese. Then the problem is taken care of in 30 seconds. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Okay, now boot up. Okay, now open the door. Opens the door. Okay, from now on, only have these systems working. And then it's fine. So it was what you do about nothing. It's like, we know this is boring, guys. We know it's boring. So let's just throw this, maybe hackers, maybe Chinese, maybe blah blah blah. It leads to nowhere. Just like this movie, it leads to nowhere. He goes to the second place. Oh, I think I could climb it without deer. Okay, you look out the fucking window, you see there's a lot of mountains. Maybe you bring something for that in case, instead of this tiny fucking lunchbox. Is that what astronauts do? They only have this tiny fucking lunchbox? Literally, you could probably fit an apple. This is how fucking small this little lunchbox looking thing that he's bringing with him. No other things? Not even a fucking backpack or anything? Whatever. Just that. And so even though it's very flat, and he's carrying this fucking lunchbox, he's able to climb almost with one fucking hand. Just the second one. Analyzing, goes and gets the third ball. That's when he can't get back to the ship for like a minute. If you think it's going to lead into a 2001 Space Odyssey, Hell 9000 thing, no. If you think that, what is up with this Chinese hacking? What do they really want? Why are they hacking into it? What happened with the Chinese mission? Was it blown up by accident? Did someone blow up on purpose? If they blew up on purpose, why? Is there something else going on? You never fucking know. Does anything happen with that wife where she gets hacked again or she gets in trouble and this and that? And no. I guess they don't try hacking into her stuff again. The third ball has a little bit of DNA. He touches all three balls. Talk about balls more than a fucking porno. And then as he's holding all three balls in his hand, that's impressive, to hold three balls in your hand. Usually me it's two, but all three balls. He's a good ball handler. That's one of the only character traits I could talk about in this fucking guy. Because you know nothing about this guy. You know nothing about his past. He has a wife, and in my opinion, treats her like shit. In my opinion. And he likes to hold balls. That's really all I can say about the fucking character. So why should I care? Why should I care? And does all this I'm talking about sound exciting? Or intriguing? Or what is the story that I'm supposed to get interested in that I could find done miles better in a fucking Star Trek episode? Or Twilight Zone episode? Or any amount of fucking episodes or short stories, let alone, that are more interesting, that have something happening. I can't even say he really has that much to say. He's on the three balls, there's more shots of the ocean, there's more shots of trees, maybe a little bit of his wife, lights are flickering, AI computers telling him about there's these codes that give distances, vector informations, there's another signal. Don't know what. Probably alien origin. It's been 5 years. So then he decides, I'm going to keep going. He videos an apology to his wife. They're calling me. Live your life as you see fit. I mean, if there's any dialogue worth it, it's maybe that little speech, but too little too late. I don't know. How the fuck do you have the fuel? Does this thing run on fuel? Do you have the food? Do you have the water? Because originally this is supposed to be a 10-year journey. But the computer even says this is going to take 38 years. 38 years. And I don't even know if that's 38 years up and 38 years back. And forgive me if I'm being stupid, but if you have a mission that was only meant for 10 years, but now you don't go for another 38 years, how the fuck you don't have enough food and water for that shit? for 38 years. Apparently so. He goes on his journey, and the movie's over. So what do the 3 balls mean? I give more meaning of the 3 fucking seashells in Demolition Man. At least I know what the 3 seashells are and what they can do. The 3 balls, I don't know. Maybe they're fucking sex toys. Maybe they're alien sex toys. And they want a new playmate. So they want the guy to go down there and have some butt plugs. Here's one, you know, they're the equivalent of their anal beads. For all I know, these fucking balls. The equivalent of anal beads. And these are images you'll be thinking as we're sticking this up your ass. Maybe they're alien rapists for all I fucking know. You don't know that guy. Maybe they're alien rapists, they're fucking bored. We got this guy by the ass. We got him by the leash. Tum, tum, tum. How many can we fit? 3? Oh, maybe more. To come out your tongue. Again, it's trying to tell the story about discovery. But you have to go somewhere. You have to lead it somewhere. It doesn't. It leads to nowhere. I just did a lead guy I don't give a shit about. I don't think his acting was all that. The little bits of other acting is from these video feeds. I did the low quality special effects, the especially low quality production values, and then stupid shit where the guy keeps doing stupid things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make climbing up this thing bring more shit than what's in your tiny lunchbox. Oh, I'll just touch this thing with my bare finger. I don't know what it is, what it'll do. Oh, we'll just send 1 fucking person in this to go to 3. If you don't go to 3, they're that fucking important. Why don't you send 3? Why don't you make it, okay, you, America, will go over here. Mother Russia, you don't go over there. China, you can go over there. We all converge, we all unite on this, or something, man. Apparently not. So, it's boring, it's tedious, the plot, there's nothing there, nothing much happens, and it's completely anticlimactic. So we get to the ending and he's on his journey over there. I'm like, wow, this was fucking pointless. What, do you want a sequel? You're not getting it. So if you want any answers, you're not even getting that either. So frankly, I think Dan, he enjoyed it. That's cool. I'm sorry that I thought it sucked, but I thought it sucked. And, you know, it's not because there's no explosions and... Like I said, the production value is low, but if it had a good story, if it had good characters, what can you really say the story of this is? He finds 3 balls, there's a message, he decides to go further, the end. That's it. But it's about the humans wanting to go further and adventure and discovery. You know what? That idea is a valid idea. It's been done better. Contact, Jodie Foster. I bought into her wanting to know. She knows there's something out there. Contact is a better written movie. And that's a movie that could be classified by a lot of people as anticlimactic. But to me, I got what... I don't feel that way. That to me, I bought more as a culmination of the journey more than this. There's no culmination. There's not really an ending. So with that said, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.